series of violent thunderstorms swept across southeast Queensland over the weekend, unleashing giant hailstones, hurricane-force winds, and record-breaking lightning activity that plunged tens of thousands of homes into darkness and left a trail of destruction across the region. The storm, which struck on Sunday evening, has been described by meteorologists as one of the most intense spring weather events in recent memory. The Bureau of Meteorology, BOM, had issued severe thunderstorm warnings earlier in the day, but few anticipated the sheer ferocity of what was to come. By late afternoon, skies that had been clear just hours earlier turned ominously dark as a powerful upper-level trough collided with warm, humid surface air, creating the perfect conditions for explosive storm development. At approximately 5 p.m. local time, the first cells began forming over the Wide Bay and Burnett districts. Within minutes, the storms intensified rapidly, producing hailstones as large as 8 centimeters in diameter, roughly the size of tennis balls, in areas such as Maryborough and Toowoomba. In Brisbane, the capital city, wind gusts reached up to 96 kilometers per hour, toppling trees, damaging roofs, and downing power lines. The storm's fury was so intense that it forced the suspension of the Pacific Cup Men's Rugby League match between Samoa and Tonga, as lightning strikes lit up the sky and spectators were evacuated to shelter. The impact on Queensland's power infrastructure was immediate and widespread. Energex, the state's electricity distributor, reported that more than 70,000 homes lost power at the height of the storm. As of Monday morning, nearly 25,000 homes remained without electricity, with crews working around the clock to restore service. This afternoon's storms have caused significant damage to critical infrastructure on our network, Energex said in a statement. There are wires down across the greater Brisbane region, and we have nearly 70 crews working overnight to restore power. Some schools, including Stewart Home School near Toowong, were forced to close on Monday due to ongoing outages and safety concerns. Perhaps the most dramatic scenes unfolded in Maryborough, a regional city in the Wide Bay area. On Thursday, October 2nd, just weeks before the Brisbane storm, a separate but equally severe hailstorm had already battered the region. That storm produced hailstones up to 8 centimeters in diameter and unleashed over 204,000 lightning strikes in just 9 hours, setting a new record for electrical activity in the area. Residents described the sound of hailstones smashing into rooftops and vehicles as deafening, with many homes suffering shattered windows, dented cars, and damaged solar panels. Emergency services were inundated with calls for assistance, and local hardware stores quickly ran out of tarpaulins and repair materials. According to meteorologists, the storm was fueled by a potent combination of atmospheric instability and a deepening low-pressure system moving across southeastern Australia. The upper trough brought colder air aloft, which, when combined with the warm, moist air at the surface, created a volatile environment ripe for supercell development. These types of spring storms are not uncommon in Queensland, said Dr. Felix Levesque, a senior meteorologist at WeatherZone. But the scale and intensity of this event, especially the size of the hail and the lightning frequency, are exceptional. It's a stark reminder of how quickly conditions can deteriorate during this time of year. Emergency services responded to hundreds of calls across the state, ranging from flooded homes and fallen trees to traffic accidents caused by slick roads and poor visibility. In Brisbane, several major intersections were rendered impassable due to debris and flash flooding. Queensland Fire and Emergency Services, QFES, deployed additional crews to assist with cleanup and rescue operations. No fatalities have been reported, but several minor injuries occurred due to flying debris and slips during the storm. Local councils have opened temporary shelters for residents whose homes were rendered uninhabitable. Insurance companies are bracing for a surge in claims, with early estimates suggesting damages could run into the tens of millions of dollars. While severe spring storms are a known feature of Queensland's climate, experts warn that climate change may be amplifying their intensity. Warmer sea surface temperatures and increased atmospheric moisture can contribute to more frequent and severe convective storms. This isn't just a freak event. It's part of a broader pattern we're seeing across Australia, said Dr. Levesque. We're entering a period of heightened storm activity, and communities need to be prepared for more events like this in the coming years. Unfortunately for residents still recovering from the weekend's chaos, the forecast offers little reprieve. The BOM predicts continued wet weather through Monday and Tuesday, with the possibility of further thunderstorms across Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne. A brief cool change is expected to arrive by Tuesday, but meteorologists caution that the relief will be short-lived. Temperatures are forecast to climb again by midweek, potentially exacerbating the risk of further storm development. Neighbors helped one another clear debris, shared generators, and offered shelter to those in need. Local businesses have stepped up to provide food, water, and supplies to affected families. Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk praised the emergency response and urged residents to remain vigilant. "Our thoughts are with everyone affected by these storms," she said. "We are working closely with local councils and emergency services to ensure a swift recovery." A ferocious hailstorm tore through Ipswich and surrounding areas in southeast Queensland on Sunday, unleashing giant hailstones, destructive winds, and intense lightning that left thousands without power and caused widespread damage to infrastructure, vehicles, and public transport. The storm, part of a broader system that battered Brisbane and the Lockyer Valley, has been described by meteorologists as very dangerous and among the most severe spring events in recent years. At approximately 4 p.m. local time on Sunday, the Bureau of Meteorology (BOM) issued an urgent severe thunderstorm warning for Ipswich, Logan, Brisbane, and surrounding regions. The alert cited the potential for giant hailstones, destructive winds, and heavy rainfall that may lead to flash flooding. Within minutes, the skies over Ipswich darkened dramatically. Residents reported an eerie calm followed by a deafening roar as hailstones measuring between 4 and 6 centimeters in diameter began pelting the city. The storm moved northeast from Harrisville and Peak Crossing, intensifying as it approached the Ipswich CBD. One of the most dramatic moments occurred just outside the Ipswich Central Business District, where a TransLink bus was struck by hailstones so large they shattered windows and dented the vehicle's roof. Passengers were evacuated, and emergency services responded swiftly to ensure no injuries occurred. Social media was flooded with footage showing hail blanketing streets, bouncing off rooftops, and accumulating in gardens like snow. Residents described the sound of hail hitting metal surfaces as like gunfire, and many scrambled to cover vehicles and windows with blankets and tarpaulins. Energex, Queensland's electricity distributor, reported that more than 67,000 homes across southeast Queensland lost power during the storm's peak. Ipswich was among the hardest hit areas, with downed power lines and damaged substations contributing to prolonged outages. As of Monday morning, nearly 25,000 homes remained without electricity, and repair crews were working around the clock to restore service. This afternoon's storms have caused significant damage to critical infrastructure on our network, Energex said in a statement. There are wires down across the greater Brisbane region, and we have almost 70 crews working overnight. Lightning strikes were so frequent and powerful that they halted play during the Pacific Cup Men's Rugby League match between Samoa and Tonga in Brisbane. Spectators were evacuated to shelter as bolts lit up the sky and thunder echoed across stadiums. Ipswich residents reported dozens of lightning strikes within minutes, some hitting trees and power poles. Emergency services received hundreds of calls related to fire hazards, fallen branches, and minor injuries caused by slips and flying debris. Meteorological mechanics. Why Ipswich was in the crosshairs. Meteorologists attribute the storm's intensity to a deep low-pressure system moving across southeastern Australia, combined with a potent upper-level trough and warm, moisture-laden surface air. This volatile mix created ideal conditions for supercell development. These types of spring storms are typical for Queensland, but the scale and intensity of this event, especially the size of the hail and the frequency of lightning, are exceptional, said Dr. Felix Levesque, a senior meteorologist at WeatherZone. Ipswich was directly in the path of the most active cell, which explains the severity of the damage. Community impact: schools, roads, and homes affected. Several schools in Ipswich and Brisbane were forced to close on Monday due to power outages and safety concerns. Stewart Home School near Toowong announced it would remain shut after losing power overnight. Roads across Ipswich were littered with debris, and flash flooding rendered some intersections impassable. Emergency services deployed additional crews to assist with cleanup and rescue operations. No fatalities have been reported, but several residents sustained minor injuries. Local councils have opened temporary shelters for those whose homes were damaged or rendered uninhabitable. Insurance companies are bracing for a surge in claims, with early estimates suggesting damages could exceed tens of millions of dollars. While severe spring storms are a known feature of Queensland's climate, experts warn that climate change may be amplifying their intensity. This isn't just a freak event. It's part of a broader pattern we're seeing across Australia, said Dr. Levesque. We're entering a period of heightened storm activity, and communities need to be prepared for more events like this in the coming years.